EPAZ specializes in cryptocurrency, blockchain, mobile apps, and also cloud business software. Now, EPAZ serves small to medium-sized businesses, also Fortune 500 companies, government agencies, higher education institutions as well. And with me to explain a little bit more about what EPAZ is all about is Michael Manahan, the Vice President of Communications. Welcome, Michael.
Well, Jane, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk about our company. We really do have a very exciting company. Now, historically, a lot of our focus was on taking old legacy software systems and rebuilding them on cloud-based platforms. You know, the world is full of software systems that were written 20, 30, 40, even 50 years ago. They still work, but they're not cloud-based. And we developed, our CEO, who's a PhD and a very brilliant man, developed a system of converting those old legacy softwares into cloud-based systems.
Interesting. Okay, so that's what the company is all about. So, and we talked a little bit about crypto blockchain. How does that fit into the company?
Well, that's kind of the new evolution of what we've been doing. You know, because we're software experts and because we had this ability to take old legacy software systems and turn them into cloud-based systems, we were really out there looking at what software applications could we develop that would solve current problems out there in the marketplace. And that's how we developed our CryObo, which is really a blockchain technology software that has a whole huge amount of applications in what I'm going to call the new economy.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I want to talk a little bit more about CryObo here in a second, but it looks like you have some solutions. You've developed some for high-risk industries. Explain what those industries are. How does that help solve that problem?
Well, certainly one of the high-risk industries is obviously, at least here in the United States, is the cannabis business. While cannabis is legal in many states, the federal government still says it's a no-no to put that cannabis money into your local bank. So cannabis companies run off of cash. I have a company I worked with a while ago, $300,000 a week coming in and going out of their offices. You know, that amount of loose cash is dangerous. One of our applications actually allows cannabis companies, might be a wholesaler and a retailer, to pay each other through the platform without having to bring over literally a suitcase full of cash. So that's just an example.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. And we've got these two new industries, cannabis and blockchain, and how they might work together to kind of change the whole financial system. It's very interesting how this is all coming together. Now, we talked about CryObo a little bit. So explain that concept. What is CryObo?
Sure. Well, what CryObo is, it's a software that allows you to tokenize a product or a service, and perhaps, and I'll give you the best example. One of our very first customers for this product, for our software, is a company operating in Europe. They grow hemp, and they use hemp to produce CBD products. And CBD products, of course, have a lot of applications. But what they're doing is they allow their customers to purchase tokens that are created through the software, and then at a later date, they can use those tokens to buy product. And the idea is that as time goes by, because the tokens are fixed to the raw materials, as time goes by, the value of the tokens increase. And so when they use the token to actually buy the products, they're in effect getting a product discount. So the hemp grower, product manufacturer gets cash now. The purchaser of the tokens through our software gets the benefit of appreciation of those tokens, so that when they do actually turn them in for product, they're in effect getting a discount on the product. So it's a win-win for both, in this case, the grower of the hemp and also the purchaser of the CBD products.
Interesting. And there's also applications that CryObo could be used in real estate.
Well, that's something that we plan on tackling next. We're talking to a lot of people about it. You know, in traditional real estate investing, a real estate developer does something called syndication. What he does is he takes let's use an example, an apartment building, 100-unit apartment building. It's going to cost it. Well, here in in Long Beach, Los Angeles, I mean, a 100-unit apartment building, I don't know, that's maybe a $10 million project, maybe more. Well, what you do is you syndicate that, and that means you sell off small pieces, $25,000 to each investor. It's a great way to finance an apartment building. The problem is those investors who get those $25,000 membership interests really can't do much with them. They can't sell them. It's very difficult to sell them. There's no market for them. But the idea is if instead that developer of the building sold tokens that were tied into the value of the apartment building, let's say somebody bought one of those investments and in 2 or 3 years, for whatever reason, they needed to get the cash back, they could sell the token on the token marketplace, as opposed to having to go back to the developer and say, I really need my $25,000. Is there any way you could get me out of this? And of course, the tokens would appreciate in value as the property appreciates in value.
Yeah.
So we believe this is a better way to raise capital for developers. And it also allows for people who would potentially invest in that property a more liquid form of investment. So if they need to get out, they can. And the investors obviously will participate in the increase in value of the project as the project is built and as it's rented out and as time goes by.
No, it seems like an elegant solution to real estate. I feel like blockchain can really have an application that's useful to a lot of people when it comes to real estate. Now, you've also got stock, right? EPAZ stock. So where is that traded? How could somebody find out more about it? Perhaps purchase shares if they want to?
Well, we are traded on the OTC bulletin board, and we're a very low value stock right now. You can go to epaz.com and read more about our company. And I'm sure whatever trading system you use, you can bring up our press releases and more information on the company. But I think the important thing is that, is it really a good time to be in there buying any company? And, my philosophy has always been, get in before everybody else does. We are really working with very leading edge software solutions. And, today, particularly when we have a more complex economic environment with cryptocurrencies and things like that, but also we're in a situation right now where companies are just looking to automate because there's a shortage of labor, and labor is costing more and more. And when that happens, companies look to automate. How do we automate solutions? And we have a lot of very creative solutions that are tied into things like blockchain and things like cryptocurrency that companies are asking about, and they're wanting to look at deploying those in their various industries.
Wow, very interesting. Okay, I will check it out. So epaz.com website, right?
Yes, EPAZ, EPAZZ.com.
Okay. Thank you so much, Michael, for telling us about EPAZ today. And I'm sure we'll talk again in the future.
Well, I'd love to. I want to keep you up to date what's going on. We have a really, really very exciting company. And I'm just excited that people will get to know about us and check us out. Thank you very much.
Thank you.